We're talking with Tim. Tim's got a dairy house that the roof fell in or needs to be repaired, and apparently, and Tim, how long's the milk house been there?
Since 1940. My grandfather bought the property in 1940 during wartime. He put up a dairy house, which served as a roadside vegetable stand, and he sold milk out of that in the 1940s and 50s up through the 60s.
So here's the deal. Back in the day, zoning was not a thing, all right, where you could do certain things, get side yard setbacks and all the rest of this stuff was not a thing. And then when they started the zoning, what they said was, if you've been doing this before the zoning, then you can keep on doing it, provided you don't expand it by more than 50%, or if the thing
Right.
burns down or whatever, right? Now,
I read the same thing.
Yeah.
If
Well, that's
they
true.
change the building into something else, then all bets are off.
Well, you can use it for whatever you want, just so long as you don't expand the non-conforming, the non-conforming nature of it, right? But here's why I'm wondering if this might not be a little bit different, because and I don't know, we'd have to look at the map, but if back during the war your grandfather built it in the right of way. Okay. If he built it in the right of way, that's different than zoning. He didn't have the right. You don't have the right to, it's a 66-foot right of way, measured from, well,
Right.
they lay it out, right? Measured from the section line generally. So are you within the right? Is it within the right of way?
I'm almost sure it is. From
That's
the
your
center
problem.
line of the road.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah,
I
but
mean, it's without-
wait, don't give up just yet.
in there in 1986, I re-roofed it without a problem.
Sure.
And I did the job myself, and the clerk there says, "Well, that was then. This is now." And I'm thinking, well, what? It's grandfathered. It's grandfathered in. As long as I don't change the use of the property, I am allowed. I said, well, I'd be happy just to tear the building down and put up another one further back. And she says, well, no, you have to have a residence on the property. I live in Allegan. The dairy house is in Vicksburg, Michigan, Brady Township.
Well, what you need
to store our implements of property maintenance, such as tractors and shovels and everything else that we need to maintain that property. And I looked at this roof earlier in the spring, and I had a person that was going to come in and do the whole job for me, and I had to scare him away because I just got that call the morning he was coming, and they said, well, you can't do anything with that property. And I'm thinking to myself, that's just not right. So I thought, well, could they condemn the property? No, they cannot condemn the property because no one lives there.
Well, no, I mean they could do an adverse condemnation and take the property for the road, but that's kind of the question, right? It's like you say it's 20. How far is it from the edge of the road or from the center of the road? You said it was like 20 feet or something, right?
Probably from the edge. Probably from the edge of the road. I'm probably 15, 20 feet from the edge of the road.
Okay, so generally,
it's right in line. It's almost right in line with another guy's barn that he's had and that's a bigger barn. I mean, it's a full-size wood barn that was put up in the 1860s.
See, the question is not really. I don't think the question is so much as zoning grandfathered in because they changed the zoning and now you can't have that. I think I'm guessing, and you'd have to look at the map to find out for sure. But I'm guessing that the property is in the right of way, All right. So there's different right of ways are not zoning. So when it was put up, during the war, then it's not likely that any surveyors may not have been available or whatever. They may have just put it up in the right of way. And that's not zoning. And I haven't had chance to, I haven't had that example. I just know that whenever we've had anything in a right of way, property owners have always had to take it down. Um, because they can, theoretically, they can pave from one side of the right of way to the, 66-foot right of way. And then, but it's worth taking a look at the map, which maybe they did, I don't know. But because the road can be, it's a 66-foot right of way, and you can put the road anywhere within the right of way that you want.
Right.
And then they can't give you a bit.
So actually, what I need to do is I need to get out and put a nail in the center line of the road and run a tape to the edge of the building and actually get a physical measurement.
Well, but that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you because you got to. We saw a whole subdivision that was put off, right? Because they measured the setback from the from the edge of the road or from the center of the road, and it was in this curve, and everything was off. The all the houses were located like within the setback because the surveyor measured from the I forget, it was measured from the I guess measured from the edge of the road. Yeah, that's what it was. So he thought he had an extra 18 feet, but he moved everything you know what I mean? If you move the property 18 feet closer to the property line, and everything was all screwed up. That was a mess.
Yeah.
But so you can't go by that. You've got to get the now it may be that the road is centered on the center line, on the section line. That may be okay, but you need to take a look at the map, the plat map, see where the right of way is, and then determine where the structure is with relation to the right of way. Because if it's just a zoning thing, oh, there's no residence there, or it's too small, or it's this, it's that, you're right. You're grandfathered in. You have the right to do it so long as not more than 50%, all that. Or you can go to the township and ask for a variance from the zoning. But here's the thing: if it's in the right of way, then the zoning commission doesn't have any right to give you a variance. You can't get a variance because it's in the right of way. They don't own the property. You see, that's why, that's the difference.